So Donald Trump was recently interviewed by Time, and one of the things that was mentioned was his health care bill. Here's what he had to say. See, there wasn't a second attempt. There was only one attempt. There was a mistake. Was we set a date? I am not making this up. Like, the president can't even use proper grammar. There was a mistake. Was we set a date? Now, had we not set that date, we would have had one time. What does that even mean? What we did was we started off and changed it until 3 or 4 days ago when it got passed. It was actually close to like a week or two ago. But we set a date, and when we didn't vote, everyone said Trump fails with health care. The thing that surprised me is I said I'm not stopping, and everyone, not one person, said that was going to pass, which sort of surprised me. No one thought it was going to pass. Everyone said, and I'd go to Vice President Mike Pence. I said, I remember. I said, remember, I said. I remember I said, they're talking like we don't have a chance of passing. I'll tell you, it was a great thing. It was a great process because those 200 plus people in Congress, I got to know almost every one of them. And I developed a bond with many of them that you can only develop under fire. And it was a great thing. And again, someone wrote an article where they said this is one of the greatest learning experiences because Donald Trump, he's talking about himself in the third person now, has gotten to know everything. You know, I was with them for 18 hours a day calling. That was real. That is actually what Trump said to Time. And notice he never said anything about what was in the bill. He was instead talking about how the bill was being passed, because I don't think Trump actually wrote the bill. I actually think it was like Paul Ryan or Pence wrote the bill, and Trump is just spotlighting it. I think that me calling it Trump Care was kind of inaccurate, although it's still under his name, so he has to at least know Paul Ryan well enough for him to support it. But this is actually what's being said by the President of the United States. Just imagine if I did that, like, oh, Ephrom, Josine, you wrote that article on Tumblr. What was it about? I don't know. Healthcare. What was it like? Well, you see, I had to sit there and type in front of this computer, while using this keyboard right here, in front of a computer for multiple hours, until I felt I was done with it, and then I submitted it to Tumblr. Notice how I never said what was actually in the article. Because it's just idiotic to be like, oh, well, you see, to get the bill passed, we had to do all. No, I want to hear about what you think about what's in the bill. I don't think he knows what's in the bill either, because if you remember on the campaign trail, he was like, I'm not going to cut your Medicare or your Medicaid or your Social Security now. What does the bill do? It cuts Medicaid, it cuts Medicare, and it cuts Social Security. And Trump has made statements in favor of single payer. He even said on the campaign trail he wants to take care of everyone, and that the government would pay for it. Meaning he was more than likely at least implying single payer. Then he writes this very non-single payer bill. It's a little closer to single payer than Obamacare was, but that's another story. Yeah, I went there. It's just, wow. Wow. I'm Cifro Joe, and good night.